A corrupt billionaire arms dealer crashes his own plane, survives a hit job, talks to God in the afterlife, and challenges his enemies to a basketball game to settle a business deal. Just when you think it can't get crazier, his daughter finds out he might not even be her real father. Welcome to the Phoenician Scheme 2025, a wild ride of betrayal, blackmail, and redemption. You won't believe how it ends. So let's dive straight into the movie. The movie starts in 1950, high above the Balkan Mountains. A rich and shady arms dealer named Anatol Zsa Korda is flying in his private plane. Suddenly, a bomb explodes, killing his assistant and damaging the plane. The plane starts falling from the sky. Zsa argues with the pilot, then throws him out and crash lands the plane into a cornfield. At first, people think he died, but he soon appears alive on live TV. While he was unconscious for a short time, Zsa sees himself in a strange afterlife, where a group of people judge his wrongdoings. There's a secret group, led by a man named Excalibur, that is working to stop Zsa. They call him Mr. 5% because he always takes a share from shady deals. He has been involved in tax cheating, bribery, and illegal profits. Many governments have tried to kill him, but all attempts failed. Now this secret group is determined to finally end his criminal empire. Zsa goes back home and meets his daughter, Liesel, who became a nun and hasn't seen him in years. He also has 9 sons, but he barely spends time with them. Zsa asks Liesel to help him run his business, as he prepares a secret plan called the Phoenician Scheme, a plan to take over companies in a place called Phoenicia using slave workers. He keeps all the secret papers in small shoeboxes. Liesel doesn't trust him. He left her at a convent when she was only 5 years old, and people say he killed her mother, something Zsa says isn't true. They are joined by Bjorn, a tutor from Norway who is now Zsa's assistant. Zsa tests Bjorn with a lie detector and he passes. Even though she's unsure, Liesel agrees to help. Bjorn helps her take care of her younger brothers. Zsa tells Liesel that it was actually his brother, Nubar, who may have killed her mother. Liesel writes letters to her convent, saying she sees no sign of God in her father's life. Meanwhile, Excalibur makes sure that the price of Zsa's main product, bashable rivets, goes up. This puts pressure on Zsa and he decides to speed up his plan. The secret organization is watching Zsa closely. They know he plans to meet with some business partners to fix problems in his company by visiting certain places in Phoenicia. Zsa takes Liesel and Bjorn with him to one of those places, a train tunnel. But when they get there, a group of gunmen suddenly shows up to kill Zsa. Luckily, Prince Farouk and his bodyguard arrive just in time to save them. Inside the tunnel, they meet 2 rich brothers named Leland and Reagan, who are helping finance Zsa's project. But the brothers are angry because Zsa secretly changed their contract to make them pay more money, and he didn't ask them first. To settle the argument, Zsa suggests a fun way to decide. They will play a game of HORSE, a basketball shooting game. Zsa teams up with Prince Farouk, who has never really played basketball before. While the game is going on, Liesel drinks beer for the first time with Bjorn. It becomes clear that Bjorn likes Liesel romantically. The game gets intense and both teams are close in points. But in the end, Prince Farouk makes the winning shot, and the problem with Leland and Reagan is solved peacefully. Zsa has another strange vision of the afterlife, where he is faced by his 3 wives. In the vision, he gives them a dead deer, and when he cuts it open, coins fall out of it, showing how he always mixed emotions and relationships with money. One of the women, Liesel's mother, tells him something shocking: Liesel is not really his daughter. Later, on a flight to their next stop, Liesel sees a picture of Nubar and notices that she has the same eyes as him, which makes her start to believe the truth about her real father. Zsa, Liesel, and Bjorn then go to meet a man named Marseille Bob, who runs a nightclub. Zsa tries to pressure Bob into helping him pay for part of his business problem, but Bob gets angry because Zsa is basically blackmailing him. Suddenly, a group of armed robbers led by a man named Sergio storms into the club. They start shooting, causing chaos. Bob comes out and scolds them for damaging his ceiling, acting as if he's more upset about the building than the danger. Zsa steps in to calm things down, but in the process he gets shot. Luckily, the bullet is slowed down because Zsa had a stack of money bills in his jacket. Bob quickly removes the bullet and feels grateful that Zsa saved his life. Because of this, Bob agrees to help with the money. After that, Jaja is taken to another partner named Marty to get a blood transfusion. Jaja lost some blood from the gunshot. While he's getting the transfusion, Jaja opens up to Liesel and confesses something terrible. He feels partly responsible for her mother's death. He explains that her mother had an affair with Nubar, Jaja's brother. To get back at her, Jaja lied to Nubar and said she was also sleeping with his assistant. This made Nubar furious, and he ended up killing both her and the assistant. Even worse, Jaja says he is still doing business with Nubar. When Liesel asks if he ever truly loved her mother, Jaja coldly says he didn't, so Liesel slaps him in anger and pain. Liesel says she will continue working with him, but only to make sure Nubar is punished for what he did. Later, Jaja meets with Marty again and shows him a business contract. But just like before, he had secretly changed it to benefit himself. Marty gets angry, but Jaja threatens him by pulling the pin from a grenade and pretending he might use it. It's meant as a joke, but also a warning. They both laugh nervously, and in the end, Marty gives in and agrees to Jaja's terms. Jaja, Liesel, and Bjorn travel to visit Hilda, who is Jaja's second cousin. Jaja has a bold and strange idea. He wants Hilda to marry him. The reason is not love, it's money. Hilda owns a part of the Korda family fortune, and Jaja needs that money to support his business. He doesn't want to ask his brother Nubar for help, so he's turning to Hilda instead. At first, Hilda is completely against the idea. She doesn't want to marry Jaja, especially knowing it's just for business. But Jaja begs and pleads, trying to convince her to help him out. In the end, Hilda agrees to marry him, but with a condition. She says she will not give him any money to help cover the financial problem he's facing. So Jaja gets the marriage, but not the money he was hoping for. While flying to their next location, Jaja discovers something terrible. The pilot has been poisoned, and a fighter jet is ready to shoot them down. They have no control, and the plane crashes into a forest. After the crash, a big secret is revealed. Bjorn is actually an American spy. His real name is Agent Carson, and he has been secretly working for Excalibur, the group trying to bring down Jaja. But Bjorn says he wants to change sides now because he has fallen in love with Liesel. Jaja becomes furious and attacks Bjorn, but Bjorn quickly defends himself and knocks Jaja down. A short time later, Jaja accidentally falls into quicksand and starts sinking. Just when it seems like he won't make it, Bjorn saves him, inspired by a kiss from Liesel. Jaja then has another vision of the afterlife, where he is talking to God again. That night, the three of them set up camp in the forest. They talk about their pasts and realize they all had unhappy childhoods. This helps explain why Jaja has always had trouble showing love to his own family. He tried to replace love with money. Liesel tells the others that she wants to leave the family business and go back to her life in the church. But just then, Sergio and his group show up. They take all three of them away on their own plane. The group returns home. Liesel goes to visit the Mother Superior at the convent. But instead of welcoming her back, the Mother Superior says maybe Liesel was never meant to be a nun and dismisses her from the church. Later at dinner, Jaja reveals his final plan. He tells everyone that the other business investors will soon meet at the Desert Palace Hotel to see a presentation of the Phoenician scheme. He begins putting the last steps of his plan in motion, including speeding up his marriage to Hilda. Sasa, Liesel, Bjorn, and Sergio take an elevator to go meet Nubar, Sasa's brother. On the way, they run into a man that Jaja recognizes as an assassin. Before they can stop him or ask questions, the man quickly swallows a poison pill and dies. The group then goes into Nubar's private place to talk. Liesel wants to know the truth about her mother and who her real father is. Nubar denies being her father, but says it's true that Liesel's mother had an affair with the executive assistant, so that man was probably Liesel's real father. Before Jaja gives his big presentation about the Phoenician scheme, he makes a big decision. He will cover the financial gap himself, even though it will bankrupt him. He says he has truly decided to change his life, and that includes finally paying his workers fairly. Later, Nubar reveals something shocking. He had been trying to kill Jaja all along. The two get into a fight. Nubar tries to hit Jaja with a poison capsule, but he messes up and hits himself instead. Jaja runs out to rejoin the others. A crazed Nubar climbs on top of a model of the Korda Dam, holding a grenade. He tries to throw it, but fails and ends up blowing himself up along with the dam model. Zsa Zsa has one last vision of the afterlife, where he walks peacefully with Liesel, who has now fully accepted him as her father. With his business gone, Zsa Zsa and Liesel decide to start over. They open and run a small restaurant together. Liesel writes one final letter to Mother Superior to explain what happened to everyone. Her brothers are now finally getting the love and care they always needed. Bjorn has left the spy agency and now works as a teacher, teaching kids about bugs. Hilda ended her marriage to Zsa Zsa and started her own camp for kids. She gave back the wedding ring. Bjorn uses that same ring to propose to Liesel, and she says yes. At the end of the day, Zsa Zsa and Liesel relax by playing cards together in the restaurant, enjoying their new, peaceful life. By this, the movie ends in here. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.